Your skin can hear a song and suddenly behave like it owes rent in a frozen forest. Tiny bumps rise on your arm, like your body just clicked ancient fur mode. Cold air does it. Fear does it. All, memory, music, even one dramatic movie scene can join the meeting. Modern humans are not exactly carrying premium wolf insulation. So the strange part is not that goosebumps happen. The strange part is that something under your skin is still physically pulling. That invisible pull has a name, piloerection. Very official, very tiny, very why is my arm doing this? Under each little bump, a hair follicle sits in the skin like a mini flagpole. Attached to it is a tiny arrector pili muscle. When that muscle contracts, it tugs the follicle upward. The hair tries to stand. The skin around it rises into that familiar little bump. And you do not vote on this. The signal comes from the sympathetic nervous system, the broad fight or flight department. So yes, your skin has a panic button, and apparently it is connected to your arm hair. If lifting hair sounds silly on you, that is because your body is using the wrong demo model. On a furrier animal, the system had a much better sales pitch. When the hair rises, the fur can puff up instead of just standing there awkwardly. That puffed layer can trap a thin pocket of air close to the skin. And trapped air is not magic, but in cold weather it can help hold warmth in. So for a thick-coated animal, raise the hair is not drama. It is insulation. Useful. Practical. Basically a tiny biological winter jacket. Then there is us. We kept the command, but lost most of the equipment. But cold is only half the old logic, because the same hair-raising trick also appears when the body thinks something is wrong. Now imagine that same hair-lifting system during danger. When a furrier animal feels threatened, raising the outer layer is not cozy. It is theater. Fur bristles, quills lift. The body becomes a larger, worse-looking problem. The clean example is porcupine logic. Make the outside stand up and suddenly attacking you looks like paperwork with needles. Not invincible, just less worth the trouble. So the old command is simple. Raise the outer layer, look bigger, look harder to bite. Darwin was already comparing animal bristling and human goosebumps back in 1872, and then there's us. The body sends the same dramatic message, and human skin answers with tiny bumps. Terrifying, obviously. And then the body ruins the tidy explanation, because goosebumps do not wait politely for cold air or danger. They can show up during shock, anger, excitement, and intimate closeness. The trigger list gets crowded fast. They can rise during music, films, ASMR, powerful speeches, or one dramatic moment, and not just on one convenient patch of skin. Arms, legs, neck, scalp. Anywhere with hair follicles can participate, which is where the old fur story starts to wobble. Cold makes sense. Fear makes sense. But a song does not require insulation. So why can emotion walk up and press the same ancient button? Because the button was never just about cold. Fear explains part of it, not the whole mess. Goosebumps sit inside a bigger automatic arousal system, the kind your body uses before you have finished forming a useful thought. In studies, emotional piloerection often travels with sympathetic activation. Heart rate and skin conductance can shift. The body leaves receipts, but the dashboard lights up without explaining itself. Cold, threat, touch, awe, music, memory. Different doors can reach overlapping circuits. And that is the turn. Goosebumps are not proof of one emotion. They are not a tiny lie detector for the soul. They are a body signal that can ride along when something feels important, intense, or activating. A song can hit so hard that your skin tries to grow a coat. Not emotionally, biologically. Tiny, useless, invisible fur office energy. People describe musical chills as tingling on the scalp, neck, or down the spine. And sometimes, yes, the bumps show up with it. Which is rude, because the body has chosen this exact moment to cosplay as a nervous cat. But this is not just a poetic feeling people made up after 3 dramatic chords. Researchers have watched music chills with brain imaging and body measurements. Heart rate, breathing, skin conductance, the body leaves a trail. And the reaction is not only about the big emotional peak. The buildup can matter too. Anticipation and peak pleasure can both light up the system. So the skin may start reacting before the moment fully arrives, like it read the spoiler. But the research does not let this become a perfect emotion detector. A 2022 review found only 24 human studies on emotional piloerection. 24 is not a field. It is a folder. So when someone says goosebumps reveal your deepest emotions, slow down. The body is doing something real, but it is not filling out a personality quiz. A 2024 study recorded 1,198 piloerection episodes from only 8 people. Thermal changes, touch, and audiovisual clips could all trigger bumps. Familiar clips still worked, even Avengers and Shallow, but visible goosebumps did not neatly match what people said they felt. So goosebumps are not useless, not purely emotional, and not perfectly understood. The bump survived because the system around it still matters. A deeper automatic system still cares about cold, danger, touch, and intensity. Cold can reach it, fear can reach it. So can touch, music, and memory, not through one magic emotion button. More like overlapping wires leading to the same ancient lever. Your skin is not understanding the song, the speech, or the memory. Your body is treating the moment as biologically worth reacting to. So the next time a song, a cold breeze, or one dramatic memory raises your skin, your body is not becoming a goose. It is also not becoming a porcupine. Sadly, because that would be a very different evening. What you are seeing is smaller, older, and somehow stranger. A small muscle pulls. A hair tries to stand, the bump appears, and under all that modern skin, an old switch briefly clicks on. Revision, noughts. Compress the music free search middle and cut weaker steady aside beats. Replace the limp midpoint with a clearer reframe. The button was never just about cold. Reduced repeated rude, join the meeting, tiny, and apparently joke machinery. Simplified the 2024 study section while keeping 1,998 episodes, 8 people triggers, familiar clips, and self-report mismatch. Added the Darwin 1872 fact as the single historical spice replacing weaker research stack space. Tightened the climax and ended on the old switch image instead of the extra synthesis restatement. Left the core mechanism, fur insulation logic, porcupine threat logic, and final callback structure intact. Pasted text,